scam.
Catch me getting wired at the Dutch, bro. Racks on racks on racks on racks on racks now. Racks now. Stacks on stacks on stacks on.
Hey guys, what's going on? So in this video, I'm basically going to be sharing with you how influencers will try and scam you out of your money. So I'm going to be jumping into my computer right now. I'm showing you exactly what you could do to stop yourself getting scammed from these influencers, and really pitfalls I fell into when I was starting Shopify dropshipping. So let's get into it. Okay guys, so we're in my computer right now, and I'm just going to be breaking down exactly the steps that you should be going through once you've purchased an influencer shout out. And yeah, okay, so how Instagram influencers will try to scam you. So pitfalls I fell into when I was starting as a beginner. So first things first, you have to understand that these influencers are real people and they want to make money, right? So what they will normally do, and especially these smaller pages, I have to say, they want to make as much money as they can from the least amount of effort as possible. Now, there are these really professional pages out there that, won't try and scam you. That's not like in their mind to scam you. But there are other pages that will, so you have to know this. So I'm going to walk you guys through the process that you should follow when doing an influencer shout out, and how to get the most ROI, or return on investment, on your shout out. So step one is the negotiations phase. So there's something called bots and engagement groups. And some of these influencers, well not some, I would say most of these influencers send fake traffic to their posts and make it seem like their audience is super engaged, with all their content and stuff. But really, it actually isn't. Now, they might have 1 million followers, and they might be getting 20k likes per post, which is like, a 2% engagement rate, which is okay-ish. But really, only 5,000 of those 20,000 likes are real people, meaning they've used engagement groups to get the other 15,000 likes. And the way you have to know to check if this is like real and these likes are real is by checking the comments. So you have to check if the people that are commenting on the post are real people. Now there's this guy I know, he bots all his posts with 500 comments and the same comment for each person. So these accounts look private, they have no image, and they just write done, and they write done 500 times on this account, and it makes it seem this guy on flanks that he's super engaged. And really it says that he's getting like 700 comments, but really like 500, 600 of them are just one word saying done. Fake people. So I wouldn't recommend you guys going in for that. So I would say if you want to know they're real people, they normally have a profile pic of their face. They have a bio, so like in your Instagram bio you probably write something about you, love sports or something like that. So if you want to know they're real, they normally put something in their bio, and even if they're private you can see what's on their bio. So that's that. Oh well, I think you can. And then seems genuine, so the posts seem genuine. And yeah, so a good like to comment ratio on Instagram accounts is, I would say, for every 100 likes on their page, they should be getting at least one comment. But 200 likes to one comment is also good. But that's what you should be seeing, okay? So that's the negotiation stage. So you have to make sure that they aren't scamming you in their prices when they tell you, okay, I get 20,000 likes a post, I charge $60 for 4 hours. When really they're meant to be charging $20 for 4 hours because they're only getting 5k real likes. So that's how that works. And so just because they have 1 million followers, don't pay like $200, because some of them have like every single comment they have and every single like they have is fake. And if you go into Social Blade, which is a site, let me just put it up for you guys. Social Blade. So what it would tell you is it tells you the stats of an Instagram page or whatever page it might be. So let's just go onto Instagram and quickly find a page right now. And I'll tell you where there might be a spike of fake followers and real followers. So I'll tell you what it would look like. So let's go. I have a page in mind. I just forgot page name. Marvelous Facts. Okay. Here it is. So we just type in their page name onto Social Blade. And we can see that they're consistently growing 100, 200 followers a day. So it's a healthy account. But as you can see right here, you might be like blown away by this spike. I mean, can you guys see? You guys see this, right? 2018, the 4th of the 11th, 129,000 followers. One day later, they've gone up by 200,000 followers. And this doesn't happen on one occasion. It happens on 1, 2, 3 occasions this happened. So now on the 20th, they have 308,000 followers. Next day, they have 550,000 followers. I mean, a post would have had to gone really viral to get 200,000 followers in one day, in 24 hours. I mean, that's like a ton of followers per second, okay? And then here's the big one. Here's a big one that I'm really skeptical about. And that's this. Okay, so you would notice if they're gaining real followers, like as you can see here, there's nice uptrend. They're slowly 1.14, 1.15, 1.16, 1.17. It's slowly going up here. But over here, just a rapid increase. So on the 9th of the 5th, they have 540,000. And then 3 days later, 1.1 million. 500,000 followers in one day. I mean, there is definitely something dodgy, odd with that. So you might be paying these guys like $100 for a shout out, and you probably 50%, I would say 50% of their followers fake. They just bought 500,000 followers in one day. So, you have to see that. Unless there's a really viral post. But yeah, guys have to decide that for yourself. I mean, again, likes to comments thing. We can see 1 in every 100 people here, 1 in every 600. I don't know. But there's loads of comments here, so that's a good ratio. That's quite good as well. So 1 in every 100, 1 in every 200. That's what you guys should be looking for. So next, you should always, if you're doing a story post, you should always ask the page for the story impressions. So the impressions, the amount of people that see their story. So one thing I've noticed is there's no relativity between the amount of followers a page has and the amount of impressions the story on their page gets. So I know some pages with 500,000 followers that get over 150,000 impressions on their story. And some pages with 1 million followers only get 80,000 impressions on their story. And they might both have like real followers and stuff. That might not be a problem. But you see, you can't just judge that a page will get this many impressions on their story when they have this many followers. It's nothing like that. You have to ask the page, and you have to ask them to send you a screenshot. So I was working with the influencer page, and he said he got 40,000 impressions on his story. He said his last one got 45,000 actually. But I asked him to send me a screenshot. 23,000, 22,000, 27,000. So no, he was definitely lying about that, and you have to ask, okay? So yeah, don't get scammed, ripped off for that. You have to ask for story impressions. Ask them to send a screenshot. They have that analytics, so you can just ask them to send a screenshot, and that would be perfect. Okay, so step number 2 of the process is the payment stage, okay? Now you guys probably heard this a ton, but I have to reiterate it because I just have to, okay? Must do via PayPal. Some people do it through think that they should do it through Western Union, which is a big no-no. Circle Pay, no. And it has to be through goods and services on PayPal. Some influencers will ask for friends and family. Don't do it. Now, there are a couple of different reasons why influencers ask for friends and family. Number 1 is scam. They want to scam you. Number 2 is because they have fees that they don't want to pay for, so they want you to send it for friends and family so that they don't have to cover fees. Or number 3, they're afraid of you reversing the transaction. I'll explain them a bit more as we go on. So big influencer pages, who I have to say are less likely to scam you because they must get loads of business, so they don't care if they'll lose their reputation basically. So they might want money via friends and family, and that's just because they're afraid you'll reverse the transaction, because big influence pages do big deals, maybe $500 deals, and if they deliver it, but you're just a really mean guy and you reverse the payment, which you can do if you file a dispute, PayPal is probably in favor of you guys, and they just give you back your $500. So even if they've delivered the service. You can just say you haven't got it, which I highly recommend not doing. But yeah, it does happen. You guys have to know that. That's why some big influencer pages ask for friends and family. They won't scam you, but the thing is, if they do something wrong, let's say they muck up the post, or they don't post it on the right time, or they just do the wrong thing, okay, you have no way of getting your money back, which is the problem. So, if it's someone that you really, really trust, and I'll give you that. You can go for friends and family, but honestly, I would never do friends and family, and I'm not thinking of doing friends and family. Even with influencers, I really work with a lot. So others ask it for fees. So if you don't know, PayPal charges the seller fees. So if you ever made a sale on Shopify, which you guys have because you watch me and I help you guys out so much, and so you know that PayPal charges you a fee. They charge 2.5% plus 20 cents, okay? So that means for every sale or every transaction you send them, so let's say you send them $100, they have to pay $3 in fees. Now $3 might not seem much, but some smaller pages might not like, paying a ton of fees when you're just doing a $10 promo. So yeah, I would say you have to be nice to your influencers, okay? $3, $5, it's not that much. Just pay them a bit extra. If you want to build up a good relationship with them, just cover the fees for them so that, they don't feel pressurized to post when they're not getting enough money, or the money that they want to get, okay? So I personally always cover influencer fees, and just to build up the relationship with them. So if it's a deal of an amount that you feel quite uncomfortable with, for me it might be $100 plus, but for you it might be $20, $50, whatever it might be. If you feel uncomfortable with the amount you're sending, and you don't feel like you could be sort of stable and satisfied if this deal goes wrong because of the influencer, then do it through your bank. So pay through your bank. And most people don't have much balance in their PayPal, but I have loads of balance in my PayPal because it's one of the main processes I use for my Shopify store. But you have to do it through your bank. So just in case PayPal reject your claim, if there is one, let's say you've opened a dispute because the influencer didn't deliver, then you always have your bank to go to. Call them up, say that, blah, 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 they didn't deliver us, fraud. 99 times out of 100, they'll say yes, we'll reverse the payment, and they can do it easily, don't worry. So that's that. Number 3, stage number 3 is sending over the post, so sending posts over stage, okay? So once you've paid the influencer, you have to ask them, you have to tell them specifically what to do. So you have to ask them for their most engaged time, so that's probably when you want to post. If an influencer tells me their most engaged times at 7 p.m. PST or EST, I would probably post at 6:36 so that I get the build up time, the hype time before it, and I get super high time and I get super low times, because the post really works for 3 hours, maybe 4 hours. I say 3 hours, but yeah. So you want the low time, the big time, and that time. So if they say most engaged time 12, post at 11. That's basically how I would do it. But you have to ask them when's the most engaged time, and tell them to send you a screenshot of that, because every business account on Instagram can see how many what's their most engaged time. So I don't have a business account right now, but I used to, and it showed you what day was your most engaged and what time of day in your local time zone. So also ask them for your local time zone, because you get sort of confused. If they say 10 p.m, you have to ask them, wait, 10 p.m, PST, EST, German time, UK time. It's just confusing. So you have to make sure that you're working in the same time zone, okay? Don't get confused with that. So tell them not to change anything on the post. So this has happened 3 times with me. So I work with an influencer, and I sent him over the post. I sent him over the exact story post he needed to post. For some reason, it was a good post. He writes, grab yours now, 50% off, in the middle of the product image. So it looks like one of the worst posts ever. He just puts it in there. And I asked him, what are you doing, man? Why are you changing up the post? He's like, well, don't worry, it adds scarcity and it will help drive more sales. I said, no, it looks ugly. So tell them not to change anything. Some person said that they want to communicate with their audience, and they changed up my caption saying, hey guys, here's another good deal for you. Definitely check it out. Link in my bio. Completely ruined the post and just ruined the caption. I had to file a dispute. He was not happy. He said that he needed to personally connect with his audience. Like, what? And yeah, so just tell them not to change anything. This rarely happens, but some influencers are just dumb and they make the whole post look bad. So never mind that. Stage 4, when the post is out. This is the exciting stage when you're getting sales like ka-ching. Okay, no ka-chings. But this is the exciting stage. So when the post is out is also the sad stage. The stage that most people get caught at. So what you need to do is, make sure they post at the time that you sent them, you agreed with them. So that's 30 to 45 minutes a gap in front. If it's more than 45 minutes, I'm normally quite a bit, annoyed that they haven't posted. I'll probably tell them to reschedule for another day, or just ask them why they haven't posted. I don't really take excuses because, it's really on them. That's not your fault. But yeah, make sure they post at their most engaged step, which you probably should have asked them in your previous stage. And you have to tell them as well, don't overpost. So post anything after your feed post within 6 to 8 hours. And the reason is because, let's say they post your promo 5 minutes ago, and then 5 minutes later they've just posted their own content. That means the audience, the followers of that page, only got 10 minutes to see the actual post, because Instagram shows you the most recent post of a page, because people follow so many pages, they can't even show every single post of every single page, let alone the post before the recent post. So they shouldn't be posting anything after your feed post for 6 or 8 hours to maximize impressions. So that's if you bought a 24-hour post. If you bought a 12-hour post, I would say 4 hours minimum, but 6 hours to 8 hours is what I would be happy with. So those are the most engaged times, and you don't want anything after it. And as soon as a post dies out, people don't see it. You don't get any sales, no traffic, nothing like that. So I always mention that in the PayPal notes. Okay, I always put in notes, this is payment for whatever story post, feed post, length on Instagram page, blah blah blah. When the feed post goes out, there should be no overpost for blah blah blah, and story should be the first one up for the first 24 hours. Now I would obviously ask the influencer before I send over the payment, but they can't post anything between 6 and 8 hours. Some people would just go directly after 6 hours. Some people will wait 12 hours, wait 8 hours. So that doesn't matter, because you got 6 hours of good visits, good sales. So yeah. And if they have overposted, then just tell PayPal, file a dispute, because they've broken they haven't really posted if they overposted within an hour, because they haven't given you enough time to get any sales. So they've really given you 1 hour of promo, even if you bought a 24-hour post, because that's just how the post works. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys an example right here. I found it before I opened this. So I went to this page and I saw this cat ring, okay? So this cat ring was posted 13 hours ago, okay, on this football page, which I have no idea why anyone posts a cat ring on a football page. I've seen this ad so many times as well, and it's a bad ad, to be honest with you. I mean, it's got the page name screenshotted in there. Yay. And, okay. So, blah, blah, blah. 13 hours ago, 1.2 likes. Okay, so let me give you guys more of context, okay? So, if you guys go a bit before, this is a football page, 40k likes, 45k, 12k. They average 50k likes, I would say. This is a football page. Okay, average 50k likes. Then why on this post have it only got 1.2k likes? Well, probably because cats and football have nothing, zero, nada, to relate to each other. But still, 1.2k likes in 13 hours is still quite bad. I mean, even if it's a promo, people probably still tap through and 1.2k likes. Be real, stop advertising so much. Okay, so 1.2k likes, but here's what I want to show you. 13 hours ago they've posted, okay? Now let's go to the second recent post. As you guys can see, 11 hours ago they posted this. Okay, 11 hours. They only gave an 11-hour time gap between this post and the last post, which was 14 hours. So what happened to that post was that it only had 3 hours, even though it was like the worst ad I've probably ever seen. It only got 1.2k likes in actually 3 hours because they posted this 11 hours ago, so they didn't have enough time for the previous ad to actually optimize and get any sales. And I'm pretty sure it didn't get any sales or wouldn't get any sales in 24 hours anyway. This is a football page and they're advertising a cat thing. And I've seen them advertise it like 5 times already, which I honestly don't know why. But yeah. Okay, so that's the point I'm basically trying to make. And okay, so for story posts, you want the sort of opposite. You want opposite of the no overpost thing. So what I would say, what my logic is, okay, guys, you should understand me here. So when an influencer posts on a feed, you know, they show the most recent one because Instagram want to like keep their audience updated with the most recent thing they're following. The people they follow are actually doing. So let's say you're posting something on the story, okay? So if this influencer has like 20 stories lined up, and then yours is the 20th one, people have to watch all these 15-second stories before they get to yours. 15 times 19 stories is like 4 minutes, okay? Something like that, 4 minutes. No one stays on their phone for 4 minutes on Instagram looking for one person's story. No one. I'm sure no one does that. I don't even think they watch your own full story, like even one. So more than that, you shouldn't be on the very back end, because that's how influencers will scam you to get less impressions on the story. Instead of like putting yours there at the very end, you want to put yours there, you know, at the very front. So if the influencer has tons of story posts up, they have to delete all of them that's up, or just leave it blank and then post yours. So yours would be up for 2 hours, and maybe they post their own thing. Now you might get angry, but why should you get angry? Because on the feed post, you don't want them to do that. But on the story, think about it. If they post something new, people have to see the story again. People want the story for people pop-ups again, because Instagram want to keep their followers, you know, updated with these influence pages are doing. So they see the story again, they click it, then they see your ad once again and this story, and then when the influencer posts something else, they see your ad again and this story and that story, and again this story, this story, this story, this story. So you technically want them to be posting a ton after your ad, because you actually get more impressions. Well, that's at least what I've been thinking. But yeah, yours should always be first, and I've also written that on the PayPal notes, so that if it isn't, then you know you're getting scammed, you know. So next is the post finish stage. So the post is done, you've made a lot of sales. You better have, because I've been teaching you guys quite a lot on how you should get sales. No, not really, but I'll teach you guys a bit more. So you have to ask yourself, did it go well? And if not, why? Okay, you have to be monitoring everything that's been happening in this process. Why you are not getting sales, why you're getting a ton of sales, and yeah. And if there's anything wrong, and if it did go wrong, they overposted, your story was last, you either go to PayPal and do a dispute for a partial refund, or a full refund if they just, you know, mucked it up completely. And you can immediately escalate it to a claim. So there's a dispute where you and the seller talk in PayPal's like section, and PayPal review that and, you know, come up with a conclusion. Or you can escalate it directly to PayPal, where you and the seller don't like communicate one-to-one. You write to PayPal an email, they write to PayPal an email, PayPal make a decision. 99, 98, 97 times out of 100, PayPal's in your favor, because PayPal wants to respect like the buyer and protect the buyer. But the other 3 times, you should have your bank to back you up, because, you know, that's what I recommend. So if it didn't work, you know, file the dispute, and don't file a dispute if the influencer did everything you asked for, but your product sucked, okay? And you just claim a refund, or you claim a dispute because you didn't make any money and you just lost $50, and that's on you. It's really on you. You just live with a guilty mind if you do actually get that $50 back. The influencer would never work with you, and they'll probably tell their friends, the influencer friends, the network, to never work with you because, you know, you're the scammer in that case. So yeah, I'm going to jump back into real person mode to talk to you guys a bit more. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. That's it for this one. And that's basically the steps or process you should be following when you've actually purchased the Instagram influencer post. And you should be, you know, always monitoring what these influencers are doing, because, you know, it's your money and you should, you know, most people are, you know, really concerned about their money, but still, you have to, you know, make sure you're not getting scammed with these simple pitfalls. I mean, I had no idea about the no overpost thing, no stories in front thing. I mean, I was just clueless and I wasn't making any sales, and I was like, why? And then I found some people that told me, you know, why this exactly wasn't working, and that's basically what I broke down for you guys in this video. So make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and hit the cool looking subscribe button and the notification bell icon so you're notified every time I drop a new video. Thanks for watching, and peace.
In position, it's my traffic and conversions. Focused on my service, see the customers are happy. There's no refunds to our merchants. Marketers get nervous when their product's really worthless. They keep acting like they gurus with no passion and no purpose.